Charlie. Charlie Wannop comes from Scotland, is a member of the partner from the Netherlands in the Work Mentor project. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I apologise for not having a word in Icelandic.
Please raise your voice.
And even worse, it's not even my presentation. I'm making this for a colleague of ours who cannot make it, but he's known as a spiritual leader of this last 3 projects. You will see him. He is the chap in
Charlie. Charlie.
We've got that. Thank you. Is this chappy here? You will notice him. He's always wearing the same clothes. I'm told, his wife told me he couldn't come any more till he washed. There we go. So we started this project a long time ago, and it's had 3. This is its 3rd incarnation. So here we are in Wales, the Welsh, over here in Iceland and in France. These are the groupings. So the importance of the workplace, it provides an opportunity to experience real work, build skills, competence, apply, learn knowledge, so you can actually apply it in the workplace, where in the classroom it's only theory. Excuse me. Build a CV for a job. I've done these things, and if you go to an employment, it's actually important that you've done something. At least as an employer myself, I like to know, come on, Dave, okay, so what have you done? I want to, before you're coming to work for me, I want to know you can do something. And build a portfolio of work-based evidence. So here we are in POET, there's a previous project, and in POET we were using the portfolio of evidence for learning in the workplace, and building up a range of sort of support material to say what you'd learned in the workplace while you're working. And it's based on a 3-way agreement with the learner, the tutor or the assessor, and the employer. So we all come to an agreement on what the student will learn and what will be taught. But are the parties equal? The emphasis so far had always been on the learner and the college, because we as college teachers are also very important. Trainee, you have to get them to get them moving to self-directed learning, and move the trainer, the teacher, into training and then into facilitating the students' learning, so that you're not just telling them what to do, what we call talk and chalk, but we're also trying to help them learn, pull the learning out of them, make them think. So what about the employer? Well, he's just there. So the work mentor aims to improve the employer involvement, moving the teacher or the deliverer of education towards facilitating, to move the student from you will do this to their self-directed, looking for their own way of learning. And the employer, who often had no involvement, moving the employer towards that mentoring training. And all 3 work together. The challenge in Swan, when we were in Swans in 2011, was to think, what is mentoring all about? So this was some sketches, sort of a mind map that we did there, and this is it put into a slightly more legible format. So we looked at, what is mentoring? Definitions, benefits, comparisons, barriers, expectations, boundaries, protocols, and a contract, because a contract's important. So what are the skills of mentoring, the second part? And so what are the qualities of a mentor? What does a mentor need to have to be a good mentor? Can anybody mentor, or does he need skills? How to build a rapport, how to listen, how to understand what the student needs to learn. And as we saw earlier in the workshop, so I'll forget that one. Okay, and then looking at the core conditions for mentoring, what conditions, empowerment, reviewing, moving from a problem to a solution, how we can move all these things around. And making change happen, setting goals, action strategies, keeping safe, dealing with difficult situations. How do you keep the student safe? If he's not really good, but we need him to do a job, how do you keep them safe if it's a difficult situation, like in a workshop with sharp tools or heavy stuff and so on. So that built us into a book. I think there's parts of that book there.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one
Please.
I was handing out to some of you, sort of like a manual for for educating mentors. Yes.
Yeah. So we've got one of the products of this work mentor program is this training pack for mentors, based on framework for mentoring, qualities of a mentor, and skills for mentoring. So that's more or less where we've got to with this project. So we've got a handbook, we know we've got a format to do things, we've got a contract that we can draw with between the educational establishment, the student, and the workplace or the employer. And just as an example, as a mentoring conversation, because communications, as in everything, are going to be key to make this work. If you can't communicate, if you can't get the conversations going. So a mentoring conversation, you always need to clear the decks, get the focus, single message, single at a time. You need to be questioning and be aware of self-awareness, what you're doing and how you're speaking, and encourage self-evaluation. So what do you feel about that? How do you think? Do you think you can do this? Listening. We're very good speakers and very bad listeners. And we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and I'm told if you use them in that proportion, you'll do a lot better. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is just another skill of when you're really working to understand somebody. So what you've said so far is that you don't understand this, and you don't. Is that right? Did I understand you? Is that correct? So it's paraphrasing, reflecting back, problem solving, overcoming the barriers. Why can't we do this? And action planning. You know, set smart. Have you come across the word smart? Specific, measurable,
Achievable.
Realistic,
Realistic,
time bounded. Okay. So is it specific? Is your goal? Is it what you're asking someone to do? Is it specific? Is it absolutely clear and not can't be reinterpreted? Is it measurable? Can you say I've achieved that? Or is it just something weird? Yeah? Is it achievable? Is it realistic for the student to be able to do? Is it achievable? Could he do that? Realistic, and is it time bounded? Will he have that done within a specific time? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you can't measure it. Okay, so I'll leave it to that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.